Welcome back to Connected. It's Destiny and Jaedyn, and we're so happy to have you guys here today. We are talking about
thankfulness.
because next week is Thanksgiving, which, guys, isn't it crazy
It's
that we're
insane.
even in
I
November?
feel like we were just in June.
I feel like we were just in April. And guys, if you're wondering, we need to plug Holy Grounds Sunset Cafe. They make delicious drinks.
We make delicious drinks.
I am just the person that rings you guys up, and I just have fun touching the buttons. But Aaliyah and Jaedyn are fantastic at making the drinks. One side note before we get into it. Sorry, we're not trying to ramble. But I do realize sometimes when I'm editing the podcast, we say something wrong. Like last podcast, I said, sometimes God puts me on your heart. When I meant you on my heart. So our brains sometimes it's just like moving so fast.
Because I know what you mean. Because
Yeah, we don't even.
We're talking about the situation. We're like, yeah, that's good. That's good.
We don't even realize
we
it.
listen to it back. We're like, that's not right. Or I always say, what do I say about did I say qualifies? What do I say?
No, you don't say qualifies. You say something else. You don't say qualifies because that's how you say
remember. I always say it.
Equips.
But he equips the called or
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, that's not the saying. If it works, it's the same, but it's not the saying. And every time we watch it back, Destiny's like, that's not the saying. I'm like,
It's okay. We understand. But just bear with us, guys. We're not professionals.
okay, Destiny. What's one way God has surprised you this year that you're especially grateful for?
I would say for me, I think that we talked about this 2 episodes ago, which was a little bit ago, but how at the beginning of the year it was just like so like downhill, I would say, and just how quickly God can like turn your sadness around, and bring you so much joy. And I think this year I definitely learned to, like, I went through some things, and he really helped me to cling to him and lean on him in that season. Like, just at the beginning of the year, there's stuff going on, and then with like not being able to go to Spain and just really trusting in his plan. And so something that I always forget the exact wording of the questions that he has surprised me for this year is just how, like, I feel like I really got to see how his plan is better than mine this year. The timing of Spain is like perfect. Just like the people he's brought into my life is perfect. Things that ended is perfect, and it just brought so much growth. So I think that this year he just really has shown me like his goodness, and something I'm just extremely grateful for is I've said this before, but I felt like I didn't really have a solid group of friends, like close friends, since I graduated high school, and I felt really alone coming out of high school. And I would always pray for that. Like, I have it in my journals, and I just remember I'd always pray for like a solid group of friends. And now I feel like we have a solid group of friends, and it's just so cool because like everyone desires that, especially at our age. And it's even cooler just how we even all met. And then some people were just sitting in our church, and the bond just grew. And so I think that's something that he surprised me with this year is just the people around me, and how just honestly everything, like this whole Spain thing, that's just surprising. Like how he's just working everything out in his timing. And just how he's been so good to me this year. Because I'm not going to lie, I would say this year has been one of like
The toughest,
but
the most fruitful.
the toughest, but yeah. No, I would say last year was pretty hard. The beginning of the year was hard, but I think it's been the like best year. Like one of my most, like, I could look back and be like, oh my gosh, Yeah. So what would you say is one way? I did not give one way, but what's one way God has surprised you this year that you're especially grateful for?
I would say our friends as well, just because for so long it was just me and you, like in like our family and our cousins. Like we've always been very close with our family, I mean, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But, and I feel like friends are never something that I like really prayed for that much, because I was like, it's fine. Like, I just have destiny. And I feel like when we have had friends, like, they've just like come and gone, and, you know, like there's never been like, it's never been super steady or super like grounded. And so I'm just like, in my head, that made me like, oh, they're just like unreliable. Like, my family's just the most reliable, so I don't really need other friends. And then this year, just the way that everything has happened has been so insane, because it's like, just like our friends, like these people that we've known our whole lives, and now, like just now, like in 19 and 20 years, we started becoming close with them, you know. And like, we go to Hawaii, make a friend, we come back, and we like incorporate like that friend with like our new friend group that we're just kind of like getting started with, and then we're hanging out with these people every day playing pickleball of all things. It's kind of like, what the heck. And it's so like bonding over pickleball, like what, like, you know, like, oh, let's go every Tuesday, Thursday and play pickleball, even though we all like, we're not that good, like we all, and then we go to like real courts and we're like, oh my gosh, and we get smoked. It's just
And
like
then
funny, like how it all happens. And it's like, God is so like crazy, because we could have been close with these people our whole lives, and just now we're starting to get to them. And then like, obviously, like our like Ty and Quinn, like they come in like the summer, and it's just like, have no idea who they were at all, and then they just like walk into church, or I mean, they were invited here, but, and then like that relationship, and how like we've all grown and we're so knitted together, and it's so strong in like Christ, you know.
yeah, and what I was gonna say is it's funny because I think it was before Hawaii, we went on a pickleball kick because Aaliyah liked it. And so me and Jaden were like, okay, like we don't do anything anyway, might as well just start it with her. And then we started inviting Ryan and Mercedes. And then they would come. And then it's like we go to Hawaii and then we meet Derek. And then we would invite him. And then it's like you said, we met Ty and Quinn. And then we just started inviting everyone. Like that's how we really grew close with everybody. It's just crazy how like at the beginning of the year we started with 3 of us, like just us 3. And then, yeah.
And it just slowly grown. And then like, when like people like someone's like, oh, like this, we'll invite this person, and then it's like, invite this person, it's so like fun and exciting to see like our group grow. And it like, because for a while it's just the 5 of us, Ryan, Mercedes, me, you, and Aaliyah, you know, like just, and I feel like we got super close there, and like we got to really know who Ryan and Mercedes were. Like we've known Mercedes our whole life, but I feel like we really got to dive into both of them and like grow a real relationship with them. And then just keep adding people, and it's so fun to see like God's so cool, you know, because then it's like, not only like just to see how he works in the way and how important people are in your life and the reason that everyone's there, and it's so cool just to see that grow. So I would say that surprised me, because that's not anything that I've ever like really longed for, because I felt like friends outside of family were unreliable, and these people have showed me how reliable like they are, and they've become like family to me, you know.
And I think it's also cool is that we all have the same morals and beliefs. So it just makes everything a lot easier because we're like not minded. That sounds weird. Have the same
Like-minded,
mindset. Yeah, like minded. And it's just, I think that's really cool. Let's move on. But yeah, I would say that's something that we're both extremely grateful for. And this was another thing I wanted to say is it just came at perfect timing because now I'm getting ready to leave and you wouldn't have had anyone. Like now you have all of them.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like people see us as such a pair, so it's like Destiny and Jaedyn, and not like singles a lot of the time. So it's like such a growing opportunity for both of us in that situation. It's like, oh, like Jaedyn, oh, Destiny, you know, like we're 2 separate people, but because we're so connected, everyone is just like, you know?
Yeah.
So they see us as like joint and not, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be fun and exciting.
Yeah, it will be.
It's going to be scary though. Be like, wait, me?
Okay. Question number 2. How do you practice gratitude towards God daily?
I would say one thing that I make a point to do is, well, I pray every day. Like, if that's something we all should do. But at the beginning of my prayers, I just really start with like gratitude, and I thank God for the day, or I thank him for my friends, or just like things that come to my mind or that are on my heart that I just think of as I'm praying. And I'm like, so that's, hold on, getting ahead of myself. I would say that's a way that I incorporate gratitude in my everyday life towards God is just when I'm talking to him, I started out in a thankful and a gratitude mindset. Just like, thank you for allowing us to be here today, allowing me this opportunity to speak your word, and just coming to him and like, because honestly, it's all because of him. Like, I'm so grateful for him because I have everything that I have. I'm here today, sitting here right now because of him, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I think for me, I like how you said you start off your prayers with thankfulness. I think I also like when I'm getting ready for bed and doing my skincare routine, I just think of like three things I'm thankful for, or just like what went well today and how I saw God in that. And also, I don't do this, so I'm not going to lie to you, but I remember at women's group and I loved what this person said that before she goes to bed, she always thinks, when in my day did I see God? Is that the wording? When in my day did God show up?
and like you missed it throughout your day because you were so busy.
No, that's the first one. When in my day did I see God? And then the second one was when in my day did I not notice
I remember
that God
now.
that I did not notice God's presence, but it was there in my day. And I think that's just so like when she said that, I love that. I'm saying it so wrong. I don't know exactly the
Usually,
wording,
I get the point. I hope you guys get the point.
but that was just so like I'm gonna implement that. But I think for me also, thankfulness is not just always you don't always just have to like pray and thank him. I think you could go be going throughout your day. And recently I've just been very thankful for my workplace and the children because they do like little things and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love them and like I'm so thankful for them and like being able to love on them and show them Jesus's love.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there's a lot of times throughout my day where I'm just like, thank you like for giving me this life. And I know sometimes everyone could get down and be like, I saw this thing on Instagram where it was like, be thankful for your life because you're living someone's dream life. And even though their life may look picture perfect, you never know. Maybe they want your life. And I think that Jesus has you in the place where you are and in this season for a reason. And just to be grateful for everything that has come because you never know what's ahead. So, yeah.
That's good. How have your friends reflected God's love to you this year? Fire.
I really like that question because I love my friends. I would say I could go down the line of like each of my friends, but that would take forever. But they've just been the love of God, right? Um, you skipped a question.
Whoopsie.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll just ask that one
Okay.
next.
Sorry.
How have your friend reflected God's love towards you this year? I would say they've shown me love when I was going through it, and they would always encourage me and like point me back to the word. And someone that I will like talk about is Ryan. He, like you said, how we got closer to them. He really like was there when like things were happening and I would like talk to them. And he was just always so encouraging and he would remind me of like my worth and just like that I have big things ahead and I don't know what's to come. And I would say I got really close to him and he's just so encouraging. Like he's so encouraging and he's so sweet and I think just like I think of him when I think of like God's love because they and all my friends they're just so loving. Like they're the way their actions toward you, not just their words. Like their actions match their words and their words match their actions. And just being them just being there through everything. And it's not like those people that are just there for you when things are going good. You know? And I just think being encouraging and I think that's how like they've just really loved through every season, even when I'm in a bad mood, sad mood, happy mood. So I would say loving me with my faults too. And even when I'm in the wrong. What would you say?
I would say just how, like, caring they are, really. Like, you could just tell how raw and authentic it is for each one of us and the personal relationships we all have within the group. And so I would just say, like, every single person's I'm trying to think of the word. It's like how thoughtful they are of each other, how thoughtful we all are of each other, and how considerate they are in just the way that everyone listens and just how respectful. Just literally every single part of them. I feel like we reflect God's love just as a whole friend group in the way that we support each other.
Yeah.
So I'd say that. And it's with, sorry,
You're fine.
it's not just like, oh, Destiny's doing this decision that we don't agree with. Well, we support you, Destiny. It's like, we'll all be like, no, that's not right. Or we'll like debate things or like talk about things where it's like, I love you and I care for you. And that's why I'm saying, hey, this isn't right.
Yeah.
And like, we might argue about it or like disagree, but it's at the end of the day, it's so out of love. And you know that in the group. And then we could come back the next day and everything's fine, you know?
Yeah. Like accountability. But I was going to say how we support each other. I think a key thing is like everyone genuinely is like, how's your day? Like, oh, what have you been up to?
What's going
Or
on?
like they always ask,
How's
like
this going on?
Ryan, he's always like, how's your day? What'd you do? Or what are you doing for school? Like, what's your plan, you know?
It's like we tell him something one time and then like a few weeks later,
checked
oh,
in
did
on
you
it.
ever do this? Like when I was meeting with my counselor and I kept saying, oh, I'm going to meet with my counselor, and I hadn't met with my counselor. It'd been like a month. Like every other week, Mercedes were like, did you meet with your counselor yet? Did you meet your counselor? And I'm like, no.
Stop reminding me. Okay, moving on to the next question.
Going back to the next question.
Who in your family has been a source of support or encouragement recently? And why are you thankful for them?
Poppin'. There you go.
Getting fired up.
Recently, I would say Madison. I just love, she gets home earlier than I do because I'm out with them and I get home at like 11:30 usually most nights, and she's usually up, and I just love going in her room and talking to her like recently. And it's so exciting because she's a senior this year, so she's graduating and has so much coming, so like I love getting to like talk to her and like hear what she has to say, and then the way that she sits and listens to me, and then I'm there for like half an hour and we're just talking till like midnight, and then we both go to bed. But I just like the way that she listens to me and how she like says, like, she's not just like listens to me and then like says something about like her life. Like we'll have a conversation like about me, and then we'll have a conversation about her. Then it's like joking, you know, like just how well that I could just tell she like, I just love her, and I just know that she loves me, and I could just see it in her actions and the way that we talk. And yeah, so I love you, Madison, and I'm grateful for you.
I don't like questions like these because
Like every single person. You wanna say?
yes, well, and my family's just so big, and it's hard to just think of one person. So it's just really hard. My family. I think. Okay. I feel like I haven't really shouted out this person, so I'm going to pick them this time. But I'm thankful for all my family. I have two people, okay? Sorry. I know. You're rolling your eyes.
If we have a question that says one, just know that Destiny is doing two or more. There's never going to be just one person that she has to pick.
I think it's hard.
It is hard.
My two people I would say that first came to mind is Monica. I love my sister-in-law. She's the best sister-in-law in the entire world. Like, I can't even say world right. She is just so encouraging, and she always like checks in, and even though she's busy, and she's just a great mom, and she's so personable, and that's what I love. And I'm 20. She's I don't know how old, like 30? She's 30.
She's a year older than Darren.
Maybe. She's
Darren's
30, maybe. 31, maybe. And it's like, I feel like normally in a family, the age gap can like cause this like weirdness between you. I don't really know how to describe it, but there's none of that. Like, since the day I've met her, I remember when my brother was dating her and we first met, and I was just asking her so many questions, and then just ever since then I feel like we've been close, and I know that like I can trust her and I can go to her with things, and she's just so like selfless, and I just love her so much. Like I always find it funny when like our friends, they don't really know her as much, and I'm like, guys, you have to meet her, like she's so amazing.
She's the best. We hype
Yeah.
her up so much.
Yeah.
And she meets the hype.
Yeah. So I would just say I'm super thankful for her because she's just so supportive, and like she wants what's best for me, and she gives good advice, and I don't know. I just love her so much. So I would say her. And I feel like I haven't really talked about her that much on here. So she just came to mind because she's just amazing. And she's an amazing mom. And you could see that through my nephew because he's just has such a sweet heart like his mom.
So sweet. Like Darren was just telling us last night that when he doesn't want to go to bed, he'll go through every person he knows and he's like, I love Titi and I love Iya and I love Tori. Like he just says I love, and I'm like, Darren, he's so adorable.
Yeah. We love him. We love all our nieces and nephews. They're all so sweet, and just have such different personalities, but I'll just keep it to one.
What qualities in your friends remind you to be thankful?
I would say their selflessness and how they're just so caring, and like sometimes when I'm like in a bad mood, they're still nice to me, even though sometimes I could be annoying, like just the way they love, just how everyone treats each other. And I would just say they're so caring, and like we just really love each other, and we just really, really love to spend time with each other, and we just always want to be together. We'd be like, so what are you doing tomorrow? And like, I would just say that's something I'm really thankful for because, like I said, my whole life I've desired to have friends. Like I just love talking to people and meeting new people. And I've always wanted like a good solid group of friends, but I just felt like it was always hard to find that because not everyone has the same morals as us, or like we were into different things.
Especially in school.
Yeah, and so that was really hard. So me and Jaedyn had each other, and I think that's why sometimes people would always just see us as like just us two. And it's not that we wouldn't let people in or try, but it was just hard because you don't connect in the same way, It's like we still loved them, but when you're living two different lives, it's hard to like do stuff together. And that's not saying that you can't have friends,
connections with people.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the
as
same
deep, yeah.
because you guys are living two different lives, so you're not going to like do everything with each other because it's like, oh, I don't do that.
Yeah. So, I think just them as a whole, I don't really have one quality that I'm thankful for. It's just because just the way they love and how they're always so, I would say, dependable. Like you can depend on them. Maybe that's my favorite thing. It's because I like when things are consistent, and I think our friendship is so consistent. It makes me so thankful that the Lord placed these people in my life and that I get to walk with them, and we get to like point everyone back to Christ. What would you say is a quality?
I would say just how intentional we all are, like about each other, about how they are intentional. Because I feel like it's every time that I see them, it's every day that I see them, they're always, oh, how's this? Like something very specific, because I feel like a lot of friends, like a lot of times it's like, oh, like it's so shallow or so surface level, like I could have a friend, but it's not like a true deep connection. So I would just say like how intentional we are about each other, about the things that we tell each other, about being together in like godly ways, like we're not going out doing things that we know aren't going to honor the Lord, and we all agree on it, Yeah. So I would just say how intentional they are, and also how encouraging we all are. Like how you said, like if you're in a bad mood, like everyone will still be like kind to you or encourage you through that day, but it's like they'll call it out too, they'll be like, Destiny, like why are you in a bad mood, or Destiny, what's wrong, or Jaedyn, what's wrong, like we'll call it out on everyone. And then it's just kind of like, even if you're like nothing, they'll be like, Like, it's like, you can't do that now because we know each other so well. We're on a deeper level now where it's like, okay, well, I've just been like, da 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 da, and then they'll actually sit there and listen to you.
Yeah.
And not just be like, oh, what's wrong, but not really want to hear the answer, not really want to be there for you.
And I think about, like you saying, they're intentional. I was just thinking about how one night we were trying to figure out what to eat, and we didn't know where to go because it was kind of late. And someone brought up Strizzi's, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Strizzi's. Like, I've been craving it. And we didn't go there. And then, like, Ryan and Mercedes texted me and was like, we're going to, we decided we're going to go out to eat at Strizzi's. Do you want to come? Because we know you said you loved it. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So, even just like simple things like that. Okay. Next question. What small, often overlooked blessings are you noticing this season?
I would say maybe my church family. I feel like, I don't know if that's overlooked, but for like a lot of you, but I feel like a lot of the time, I feel like I've said that a lot this past few episodes, but just because it's so noticeable to me since, honestly, especially since I got into women's group, and just the people that are in there and the way that they like genuinely really do care for us. And it's like, even though they're older and they have families and jobs and like live a completely different life than we do because we're like so much younger than them, um but just the way that they really do care for us and that they really like make it a point to talk to us and make it a point to be like, oh, how's this going, how's that going. So I would say my church family recently, and just how welcoming they all are and how caring they are.
It's a good answer. I was just thinking, I have two, and this is like, this connects with the first question about how it asked, what was it again? Like blessing, something that God surprised you with this year.
What blessing.
Not that I was surprised with it, but I think this year I truly realized like the army I have around me and just how I have such a big support system. So that's something that I think we can all take, like, overlook, you know? But also, I feel like I can't breathe recently. So sorry if I'm heavily breathing in the mic. It's like sickness is going around and I don't know. But I'm trying not to breathe super loud in the mic. But something that I was thinking is just the life I get to live and the opportunities I have. That's, I think, the biggest thing that is often overlooked. For example, opening the cafe a couple weekends ago, that brought us so much joy. Like, I had so much fun getting to like take their orders, and like we have been wanting to do this, and I think that's just so fun because they get to be creative and come up with drinks, and we get to be creative and make aprons and name tags and how we want it to look. And I find that stuff so fun. And it's like, not a lot of people can just be like, I run the church cafe, you know? It's something simple, but not a lot of people get that opportunity. Or just even doing this podcast. Like, I think this can often be overlooked because we're just like, oh, sometimes. I feel like not recently, but before we'd be like, oh, we have to film.
It just
We
felt
have
like
to film.
a chore and like such a hassle to do all of it. And we were like, oh, we have to set up and then we have to do this
Yeah.
and this. But
It was something we felt like we have to do, not we get to do. And I think our mindset, one time before the podcast, we really had to pray. And ever since then, I think we've been like, we get to do this. And it's so much fun, like interacting with you guys on Instagram and like everything. And I would say this is something often overlooked, but I would just say opportunities in general, like being able to do announcements. Like, that's so fun. That's cool. Just the little things that we get to do. Being able to work at a daycare where we get to like pour into the children. It's just like crazy, and the opportunities we get. And I would say that's something that's often very overlooked is like, oh, just living my life. Like, I think sometimes we don't realize the opportunities we have. And I think that could go for anyone. So just this week, as Thanksgiving's coming up, just think about like how the Lord has given you so many opportunities this year. And maybe even think about the opportunities that you didn't take or that were right in front of you and you didn't even realize it. So that's just something that I would say is often overlooked.
and I think that's spot on answer, like the opportunities of life. But one thing that really stands out to me is like our workplace. For us, okay, let me be specific here. For us, it's so like where we work and the how we come into work and our attitude about work is so important because the kids pick up on it right away. It's like they can tell when like we're in a bad mood or when we're like in a fun mood or like, so it's like so important how we come into work and our attitude that we come into work and the way that we realize and value that each individual kid, like the kids that can give us the most problems or that like are just like more high energy and like kind of harder to handle, I guess to say. Um the way that like you speak to them or like how you like discipline them, I guess, affects and is so important. And that goes into like your guys' workplace because I know that not everyone works with kids, so it's not as like I don't know, for us I think maybe just because I work with kids it's like easier for me to picture and see, but like for working with like adults, like you could come in there and like there could be someone that you dislike so much, but I think about it like I have the opportunity to show Christ's love to them. Like they could annoy me to like the highest max, they could be so annoying to me, but if you come in every day and are kind to them and like show them love, that's just like you have then have the opportunity to show his love.
Yeah, and I really think about how you're saying with children, how they know. Even sometimes if you don't work with children and you just know that coworker that always comes in a bad mood and you just like stay clear, that's how like the children are. And you could just tell that when you're a teacher that really loves, and it doesn't matter if you're in a bad mood, just how much deeper your connections are with the children and how just they love you so much they don't care.
Even when I'm in a bad mood, they're still sitting next to me, and I'm like, "Go play," and they're like, "No, I don't want to play. I don't want to do anything." I'm like, "Okay," and
Yeah.
they just sit there with coloring like on a piece of paper. It's like, what are you even
Yeah.
coloring?
Or they're like, "Can I sit here by you and
Can I
color?"
read by you? Can I do my homework right here?
Yeah. So I just think no matter where you work, I think really you just have to leave, which is hard. They're gonna be hard to say, but your outside problems at the door. Can't be bringing it into the workplace.
Because we even we've had people work here where it's like it's hard for like us as coworkers and on the kids when there's like they're bringing things in from their outside family and you just see that way it affects the classroom and it affects the workspace. It just makes everything so tension like what's the word? Just like there's a lot of tension, yeah, in the workplace, and it's just like, whoa, like you have to be able to leave that at the door when you come into work because it will affect it and then it just trickles down.
But also not to like an extreme point where you don't let anyone know what's going on, because obviously if you're working with those people, hopefully they could be there for you if like a death happens in the family or like something big. Like obviously we all have our own lives and our own problems. Also, this coffee is so good, you guys. I'm not lying. You need to go to Holy Grounds. And I barely get coffee, so if you're coffee lovers, you should come. Like I just want to drink, like chug the whole thing right now. But I'm like, okay, I'm filming.
Okay, it's the last question now. What's one thing in your daily life that you often take for granted but are truly thankful for?
Okay. I would say where I live, because we're just so thankful to be able to live in this city and just how like beautiful it is. For example, when we went to Seattle, it's like I love Seattle, but it makes me so much thankful for where we live, because it's like it just feels like even though it's not a Hallmark town, like I just feel like it's so homey.
The community, it's just more
Yeah.
like, I don't know the word. I want to say communitable, but that's not a word. But there's just so much. The community here is so strong.
Yeah. So that's something that I would say that I take for granted, because I just think we're just so like, I don't know, thankful to be where we are. And another one that I would just say is might be silly, but like the access we have, like I just think about two things that I'm really thankful for. It's just gonna laugh. What?
What are you gonna say?
What do you think I'm gonna say? I was gonna say hot water. I'm so thankful to have clean water and hot water and just be able to come home and shower and just sit there, you know, and just decompress. Like that I think sometimes we could take that for granted. And the other thing I was going to say is just I just love Alexa. Like I love her.
I knew you were gonna say that.
How?
Just knew it.
Like just to be able to be like, Alexa, what time is it? And she tells me, Alexa, can you play this? Alexa, what's the weather today? Alexa, do you have a joke for me? Alexa, do you want to play a game? You know? It's like that just makes me so thankful that I just have access to like Google or like the simple things. Even like anything, honestly. Like we have just access right at our fingertips. Like to connect with them, we could just do it over the phone. We don't even have to ever meet them, you know? So yeah, I feel like those three things. Can you give us three things?
I was gonna say my home in particular, just like the like I sleep in a bed every night in a warm bed with blankets and pajamas and like or if I wanted I could turn my fan on if I get hot, like just that like I get to do that every day, but there's people out there who have to live on the streets who are freezing, like especially during like this time in the winter. Like I do think about it a lot because I'll like see a homeless person and be raining and I'm like that's so sad. Like they don't have anywhere to escape the rain. They just have to sit there and be wet in it or like, like so I'm very thankful for my home and my like where I live and that I have a home. Two, I would say like one other thing that I'm grateful for is like even this morning I was getting dressed and I'm like, I have no clothes and I open my closet and it's full. Like I have like no more space, but I have so many clothes, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just like my clothes that I have in the way that I take that for granted all the time where I'm like in my head I'm like I have no clothes, but I have a million clothes that so many people would just like that long for. Like they just long for a sweatshirt and I have like 50 of them. You know what I mean? Um and then a third one. There's more. Hold on, guys.
This is not even to like this is not targeted at you, but isn't it crazy how we could just think of things that like we can complain about over when it's like give me a list of
Nothing.
things you don't like or you can complain. You could have a whole list and
Yep.
tell me something you're thankful for.
Yeah. And then
Also, pause before you talk. I think that sometimes we don't realize we take things for granted, but we do, you know? So it's like even when I was thinking of what to say, I'm like, well, I'm thankful for it for pretty much a lot, you know, but it's like how often do you express that?
I'd say like like the area like I live in, just how like safe I feel here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could walk in a Target by myself. I could walk down the street by myself. I could walk like where it's like there's other places where like you live and it's like unsafe to do that. Where you can't walk outside, like you're scared like that like you're gonna be harmed or like taken or something, where it's like I know that I'm safe here and that I have like a home here. You know what I mean? So just like how safe I feel.
I have one more that you just made me think of that I think we all like take for granted. What about our body? Like I was just thinking this about how I could barely breathe. It's oftentimes you're not thankful for your nose until you get sick. You're like, bruh, or sorry, like, dude, I really wish I could breathe out my nose right now. You know, like we couldn't do anything without our body and just how cool God created us and how well our body can heal and like function. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we're trying not to ramble as much. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode and I hope you can reflect on things that you're thankful for. And before we end, I just want to say we're super thankful for you guys and tuning in every week and um, like connecting with us. And we love you all so much. And we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys because without you guys, it would just be us talking. And we just love doing this and love getting to try to speak life and getting to try to like help you, like give you a nugget, you know, like, oh, maybe you didn't think of something in that way or like, you know, gain a new perspective. And I just hope that, you know, we're thankful for each and every one of you, even if we may not know you or have a great, like a super close relationship with you. We just love you guys all so much. And most importantly, the Father loves you so much. And that's why you mean a lot to us because we're called to love God, love people, And just thank you for tuning in each and every single week. And we just hope that you continue to come back. And if this is your first episode, we're so glad that you tuned in, and welcome. And I hope that you will come back. And another thing, I said I didn't want to ramble. I just want to shout out one person because she's amazing and we love her. Tanya, you are amazing and you're doing
Truly the
amazing.
best.
And she is so funny. Every morning when our
Every
podcast
Thursday.
comes out, she texts us. And not only that, she has an alarm on her phone set for
This is
5:46.
Connected because our podcast drops at 45.
5.
Oh,
No,
5
sorry.
o'clock.
Yeah, I think it's on her way to work.
And it's just so, like, she showed us on Wednesday. She's like, look. And she's like, she comes to
And
our church.
she's the first listener.
Yep. She's true. You're truly our biggest fan. You are one of a kind. And we are so thankful and so grateful for your support every single week.
And your encouragement.
Yep. And your encouragement. Your messages, like, when you, like, if you, like, don't message us right away, like, if it's, like, later in the day, we're like, what the heck? Like, where's Tanya? Like, is she okay? Like we worry about it. We're like, what? And then you message us and we're like, oh, okay. Like, she's fine, you know?
Yeah.
So we're truly grateful for you and we love you.
And, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And the song of the week will be Gratitude by Brandon Lake, because what else would it be? And also, I hope you guys are liking this style still, like questions. Let us know if you want us to try something different. We're always open to new ideas. And I hope, like, we don't lose you guys too much when we ramble. I'm sorry. It's just hard because we have so much to say.
We're very talkative people, if you can't tell.
Yeah. So we love you guys. Make sure to check out Holy Grounds Cafe whenever you want to come. And we'll be back there so you could come see us. And remember to stay connected to each other, stay connected to us, and most importantly, stay connected to the vine. Bye, guys.
Be the light.